Здравствуйте, товарищи. And a while back I posted a bulletin asking for user submitted topics. And I got a couple good ones, and ones we'll probably talk about later. But one of the ones I got most requested was, can you talk about abortion? And I feel like this would be a good time to address the issue of abortion in hopes that I will never ever have to talk about it on this channel ever again. Because I hate the issue of abortion. I cannot stand talking about it, and I cannot stand it when people argue about it. It's just a stupid issue. It's an issue that doesn't matter at all, and people get so emotionally involved in, and so spend so much time and resource and energy, and literally come to blows sometimes with people who don't agree with them on this particular issue. And it's an issue that has draws huge political rallies. People come from all walks of life to rally at, pro-life or pro-choice rallies or whatever. People put so much time and effort and money into these kind of lobbying for these kind of groups and creating special interest groups for either side. And I'm just thinking to myself that if you're going to spend all this time and energy and money on doing something politically oriented, why don't you do it on an issue that really matters? And there's a couple of issues that fall under these issues that people get emotional about and put all their time and effort into arguing and debating and lobbying and creating special interest groups that don't matter. I'll go briefly over them, but we'll not talk about them here. Abortion is the one I hate the most because people get the most emotional about it. Second is gay marriage. Third is fur. And fourth is illegal immigration. All issues that people come to blows over, but they don't matter at all in the larger scheme of things. And when I see these political rallies for abortion, I think to myself, why do we have so many people coming out for abortion, but we will never ever see a political rally and people gathering together for, say, something like an anti-corruption rally or an anti-government corruption group? Something that impacts us on a much larger scale on a daily basis. Like, everyone in society is impacted and affected by government corruption. Negatively, that is. And also, it's a uniting issue. Something that, no one is going to say, you're going to come up to them and ask you, do you support corruption in the government? No one's going to say, yeah, I support corruption in the government. No, everyone doesn't want corruption in our government. But at the same time, no one will band together and, create rallies or groups or go to the effort and extent on something like that they will on something like abortion. And, people will probably say, you know what, Stalin, people can't solve government corruption. They can't solve government corruption. Well, you can't solve abortion either. Because the abortion argument always boils down to the same thing. It always boils down to semantics, what you believe is a human life and what you don't believe is a human life. And who you believe and who you don't believe, and it's just a total joke. It's a total joke, and every single time it just boils down to just the issue of semantics. We have a lot greater chance of unifying and solving government corruption, something that affects us all on a massive scale, than we do on, solving, quote-unquote, abortion, something that affects a very select group of people in a very minuscule scale, and overall doesn't matter to the whole of society. And where do I actually stand on the issue? I don't care. I don't care if someone wants to get an abortion, and I don't care if the woman doesn't want to get an abortion. It doesn't matter to me. I don't give a crap whatsoever. Now, I guess the main kind of point I'm trying to say in this is if you're gonna take the time, the energy, and the money to get emotionally involved in something that is, politically minded, politically oriented, why don't you spend that time, energy, and money on something that affects the society as a whole, actually has a chance of being solved, and something that everyone will stand behind. Everyone will stand behind, say something like government corruption. It's the one that always comes into my mind when I start talking about abortion. Everyone will stand and rally behind and go and march on that kind of issue. Not everyone's going to stand behind abortion. People are divided on it. And again, something you're not going to solve. Something you're never ever going to solve. So, I think that's about all I had to say. Usually I ramble on for another 4 or 5 minutes about something. But, this was nice. It was kind of to the point. Kind of really, kind of stopped myself before I went off the rails. And people get mad at me when I say stuff like this. People get mad at me, from both sides when I say the abortion issue is stupid. Like, not the, the act or anything. The issue itself is stupid. I remember, okay, random side tangent. I knew this was going to happen, but anyway. I remember back in high school, we had a debate going on in class. We had in-class debate over capital punishment. And I didn't stand on either side. I was actually in the middle. I basically helped out whoever I thought was losing, so I gave arguments to both sides, whatever. I just, played devil's advocate and jumped across the fence or whatever. I wasn't on either side in this debate. So, I was there, just kind of as a neutral figure, helping out whoever needed helping out. But then this one girl, she stands up and says, "Well, I think that we should have abortion," we should have capital punishment because Canada has legalized abortion and they're both murder. And at that point, I stood up, like I literally, I was sitting down and I shot up out of my chair and I pointed at her. And I pointed at her very dramatically and I yelled, "The abortion issue is a joke. It has no relevance on the current discussion we're having, and I demand that this never be spoken out again, and I demand that her comments be retracted." And she burst into tears. Like, she just burst out crying. And we still continued the debate, but she left the classroom. And I did apologize afterwards, but I still, to this day, thought it was hilarious. And I never actually really felt bad. Actually, felt kind of good. Anyway. I think that's all I've got to say on this issue before I get all really entangled in this. So, for those of you who want to know what I think about abortion, I think the issue itself is stupid, and hopefully we're never ever going to talk about this ever again on this channel because I don't like to talk about it. Anyway, this is going to be Joseph, he's one of Stalin, signing off for now, and I'll see you guys later.